should have worked. Awesome. So we're going to get to start lying down. So if you'd like to get comfortable, and once you get comfortable, I'd just like to take your focus onto your breathing. So we'll take those nice deep breaths in and out. So with each deep breath in, I just like to draw it down towards your stomach, allow the stomach to rise. And then as you breathe out, just allow the stomach to drop back down again. I just really want to try and focus on making that breath as deep as possible. And we'll just take one more deep breath in. As we breathe out, just slowly circle the arms overhead. Alright, interlace the fingers. And just reach out to the whole length of the body. So we'll point the toes. We'll reach those hands as far away from the top of the head as we feel we can. Just making ourselves as long as possible. And we'll take one more deep breath in here. And as you breathe out, we'll just release that stretch slightly. I like to keep the hands overhead and the legs extended, but we're just going to widen the legs so the heels come to the outside edges of the mat. And keep those arms overhead and those heels down. We're going to gently rock up onto the right hip and shoulder. So get a little bit of a twist through the body. We ease back to the center, we'll do the same, lifting up onto the left side. So we keep the heels down, and then back to the center again. So we'll just gently go from side to side a couple of times. And one more time to each side. And we can hold to the center. From here, we'll just release the arms and we can allow them to come down to around shoulder height. Here I'll extend the legs, we bring the feet to the floor. Keeping the shoulders down. We're going to gently lower the knees to the right, just taking them as low to the floor as you feel you can. And we'll ease back to the centre and out to the left. We're just going to gently take those knees from side to side. This movement's feeling good today, you want to add that election. The next time we drop the knees to the right, we can try and take that left knee towards the right elbow, still keeping the shoulders down. We can do the same if you drop the knees to the left, right knee towards the left elbow. Remember, if it feels too much, don't worry, just gently drop those knees from side to side. The movement's still feeling good and you want to add one more extra in. We can try and extend the leg, taking the toes out towards the fingertips. Again, still keeping the shoulders down, and if it feels too much, don't worry, the knee towards the elbow, or just stick with gently dropping those knees from side to side. And last time to each side. Just ease back to the center. From here we can lift the legs. I like to hug the knees in towards us. So let's take hold of the shins. Or just draw those knees slightly in towards the chest. And we're just going to draw those knees a little bit closer in towards us. If we can, we're going to take the feet towards the ceiling, trying to take hold of the inside or the outside of the feet if possible. Or if we can't reach the feet, we can take hold of the shins. But the aim is to try and get your thighs as close to parallel to the floor as you feel you can. and as close to that 90-degree bend at the knee as you feel as possible. And I'm just going to hold here. So take this nice deep breaths in and out as we hold this position. If it starts to feel too much at any point, please gently release the legs, hug the knees back in towards you. Now we're going to take a deep breath in. As we breathe out, we can gently release the feet and we'll hug the knees back in towards the chest. From here, I'd take the hands to the back of the thighs. And if you feel comfortable to, I'd like you to gently just start to rock and roll on the spot. Slowly bring yourself towards a seated position. Now, if it doesn't feel comfortable to rock and roll, please just gently bring yourself to a seated position. Or if you're happy to, just build a little bit of momentum. And once we feel we've got enough momentum, we can release the thighs and gently rock and roll to a seated position. Now in our seated position, I'd just like you to relax the arms, allow those shoulders to go heavy, and then we're just going to drop the chin to the chest. We're going to bring a little bit of movement to the neck. So we're going to take the chin across towards the right collarbone. We're going to lower the ear towards the shoulder. So take the right ear towards the shoulder. Now we don't want to lift the shoulder up towards the ear. We want to keep the shoulders relaxed, just lowering the ear as close to the shoulder as we can. Bring the head up to the centre. We'll go out to the left. So left ear towards the shoulder. Chin comes down towards the left collarbone. And then chin back to the chest. Now we're going to reverse the movement, going back out to the left. So chin goes back towards the collarbone. Take the head across towards the shoulder. Up to the centre. And out to the right. So the right ear towards the shoulder. Chin down towards the collarbone, and then chin to the chest. So we're just going to repeat that movement, gently going each direction. So every time we get back to the centre, we'll go back to the way we came. Just keeping the shoulders down. And then one more time each way. And once you've done that, we can just allow the head to hang heavy, the chin to relax the chest for a moment. Keep those arms and shoulders heavy too. And then from here, we're going to gently come right onto all fours. So however it feels comfortable, if you feel we can, we'll take the hands down, we come over the knees. And then we'll step those feet back. But like I said, however it feels comfortable. But here we want the hands under the shoulders, the knees are under the hips. And we're just going to focus on bringing some movement through the back of the body. So as you breathe out, I like to try and arch the spine up towards the ceiling. And then as we breathe in, we're going to arch the spine the other way, pushing the chest down towards the floor. Now we're just going to time with our own breath. And really try and focus on getting as much movement as you can. One more time each way. You can hold to the center. From here, we're just going to do a little bit of wrist mobility work. So if we can, I'd like you to turn the hands so the fingertips face towards your knees. If we can't get them quite that far, it's alright. We can take them so they face out to the sides instead. If we can get them to face the knees, we're going to shift our weight forwards and backwards. So we shift our weight a little bit towards the heels, so we get that stretch into the forearms and wrists, and then we can shift forwards again. Taking the shoulders back out over the heel of the hand. Same thing. If the fingers are out to the side, we're going to shift our weight from side to side though. So we shift the weight towards one set of fingertips, Release back to the center. And then we'll do the same going the other way. So depending on where the hands are facing, one more time each way. And we can hold to the center. We can gently release. And then we can come up to a kneeling position. We can interlace the fingers and we'll just bring a few circles through your wrists. So we circle the hands one way, maybe circle back the other way. And then we can gently release and relax the arms. From here, we're going to kneel up tall. And we're going to go into a little bit of a back bend. So we can either tuck the toes under, or we can have the feet out straight. Squeezing the hamstrings and the glutes. We're just going to lean back as far as we can. Trying to reach the heels if we can. Bring the shoulders back, lifting the chest, and if we can't reach, again, squeezing those glutes and hamstrings. We can just hold here. We'll take a deep breath in. As we breathe out, we'll ease gently back up. We can bring the hands back to the floor. And then here we're just going to sink into child's pose. So you can push the hips back towards the heels. Release the arms out in front of you. We're going to take a deep breath in. As we breathe out, we're going to ease up onto all fours. Then from here, I'm going to send the right foot forwards and outside the hands. So we come into a kneeling lunge position. And we're going to squeeze the legs, we're going to lift the arms, taking them overhead. If this feels enough, stay here, but still squeeze the legs. If you want a little bit more, we can try and lift the left foot off the floor, taking hold of the ankle and drawing the heel in towards us. Still squeezing the legs and trying to stay upright. We don't want to lean forwards into this one. We can take a deep breath in. As we breathe out, we can gently release if we've lifted the back leg. And then we can gently lower the hands back to the floor. We're going to step the right foot back. We'll do the same thing going the other way. So we'll step the left foot forwards this time. Kneeling lunge position, we're going to heel down, knee over the ankle. Then we're going to lift the hands, squeezing the legs, taking the arms overhead if we can. And again, if this is enough, just stay here. But if we do that a little bit more, we can lift the right leg, taking a hold of the ankle and drawing the heel in towards us. Again, still squeezing the legs, staying upright, not leaning forwards into it. Good. Take a deep breath in. As you breathe out, we can gently release. And allow the foot to come down. Bring the hands back down to the floor. We'll step the left foot back. Here we're going to tuck the toes under, right, to lift the knees. We're going to take the hips back and up. So we come into our down dog. So the heels can be slightly lifted. We can have that little bend in the knees. We're trying to lift the hips high and push the chest towards the thighs so we get a nice flat back. We're going to bend the legs, we're going to step the feet forwards and together. So we come into our forward fold. Now here we can let go to the arms and shoulders, allow them to hang heavy. And keeping the arms heavy, we're going to slowly start to roll up to standing. Rolling through every part of the spine. Once we get to standing, we'll circle the arms overhead. Bring the palms of the hands together. We're going to go into a bit of a back bend, so we'll arch backwards. As we do, really squeeze through the back of the legs and the bum so we look after that lower back. We can take a deep breath in. As you breathe out, gently release the arms. From here, we'll take the hands behind us, we'll interlace the fingers. We'll pull the hands down to straighten the arms out. And we'll just take them as far away from the back of the body as we feel we can. And we'll take a deep breath in. As you breathe out, gently ease the arms back in towards us, and we can release them. From here, we're just going to come into a forward fold again, so we'll drop the chin to the chest, arms and shoulders go heavy. We slowly start to roll down towards the floor. We'll bend the legs, take the hands to the floor. We're going to step the left foot back. So we come into a lunge position. Keeping the left hand on the floor, we're going to add in our rotation. So we're going to squeeze the legs. If we need to, we can lower that left knee down to the ground. We're going to rotate, taking the right hand towards the ceiling. So you look out over that right thigh, really squeezing the legs as we hold here. Take a deep breath in. As we breathe out, bring the hand back down. We'll step the left foot forwards. So we come back into our forward fold. And we're going to do the same thing on the other side. So we'll bend the legs, hands to the floor, we'll step the right foot back. So we come into that lunge position. Again, we can lower the right knee to the floor if we need to. Okay, we're going to keep it lifted, and then we'll take that left hand towards the ceiling. Still squeezing the legs. Take a deep breath in. As we breathe out, we'll bring the hand back to the floor. We'll step the right foot forwards. And then we'll just hang into our forward fold. So let go to the arms and shoulders. Allow them to hang heavy. And keeping the arms heavy, we're going to slowly start to roll up to standing. we're going to circle the arms overhead. Palms of the hands come together. We'll go into our back bend. So we'll slightly backwards, squeezing through the back of the body as we do. Take a nice deep breath in. As you breathe out, we'll gently release the arms. Allow them to come down to our sides. We'll go back into our forward fold. The chin to chest, arms and shoulders are heavy. And we'll gently roll down towards the floor. Then if we can, we're going to take the arms behind the legs and we're just going to hug ourselves a little bit deeper into that forward fold, drawing the head a little bit closer towards the shin. Take a deep breath in, and as we breathe out, release the arms. We're going to bend the legs, take the hands to the floor. We're going to step the feet back and push the hips up. So we come into our down dog. So again, heels can be lifted. We can have a little bend in the knees. We're trying to push the chest towards the thighs. And we're going to lift onto the toes. We're going to slowly roll our way forwards, coming through into a plank as we do. And then even on the knees, well, we can lower to the knees actually. Keep the elbows close to the ribs. We're going to gently lower it down towards the floor. And then here we're going to come into a small back bend. So we've got the shoulder blades back and together. Squeeze through the back of the body to lift the chest off the floor. And we don't want a lot of pressure in the hands. Really focus on that, squeeze through the back of the body. We'll take a deep breath in. As you breathe out, release back to the floor. Then we'll push back up onto all fours. Tuck the toes. Lift the knees and we'll push the hips back and up into our down dog. From here, we're going to lift onto the toes. We're going to roll forwards into our plank. Either on the knees or toes, elbows stay close. We're going to lower us down towards the floor. We're going to hold just above the floor. And we're going to push back up into our plank position. And push the hips back. And up into our down dog. We're going to lift back onto the toes. We're going to slowly roll our weight forwards, coming through into our plank position again. And then again, either on the knees or toes, elbows close to the ribs. We're going to gently lower down to the floor. From here, we're going to bend the right leg, bring the heel up behind us. We're going to reach back to take hold of the ankle. We're going to try and hold the heel as close and towards us as we can. And then just hold here. We really want to try and make sure we have hold of the ankle and not the foot. And we want to keep the foot flexed. And take a deep breath in. As we breathe out, we can release the ankle, allow the foot to come down. We're going to do the same on the other side. So we'll bend the left leg, we'll reach back, taking hold of the ankle, drawing the heel in towards us. Again, we'll just hold it there. Take a deep breath in. As you breathe out, we gently release the ankle, allow the foot to come down to the floor. Bring the hands next to the ribs. Then we can either come into that small back bend that we did before, drawing the shoulder blades back and together, squeezing through the back of the body. Or still keeping that squeeze through the whole back of the body, we can lift a little bit higher into more of a back bend. We still draw the shoulder blades back, squeeze through the back, and here the legs lift slightly off the floor. Then we'll tuck the toes under. We'll lift the hips, pushing them back and up so we come into our down dog. Now I'd like to bend the legs. We're going to step the feet forwards and into our squat. So just as deep a squat as you feel you can hold. Trying to lift the chest. So if the heels need to be lifted, if this is as low as you can hold it, that's absolutely fine wherever it is. Just need to lift the chest, draw the shoulders back. Here for just a little bit longer. Now if you need to come out of the squat, please gently come to a seated position. If you can, we're just going to hold it for that a little bit longer. Really squeezing the legs as you hold. About 15 more seconds. And then we'll take a deep breath in. As we breathe out, we can gently make our way to a seated position. So here we've got two options. Option one, we're going to come into a seated forward fold. So we'll keep the legs out in front of us. We're going to squeeze the legs. We'll take a deep breath in, sitting up nice and tall as we do. As we breathe out, we're going to fold forward, reaching as far down the legs as we feel we can. Trying to reach towards the ankles, the feet, and taking the heads as close towards the shin as we feel we can. So that's option one. Option two is we can come into bike pose, where we can bend the legs, we can take hold of the feet. And then we try and lift the legs, extending them out in front of us. Trying to get them as straight as possible so we still squeeze the legs and we get that nice stretch into the hamstrings. Now here the awkward bit is finding your balance. Once you find your balance, it's normally okay. But as we're pushing the feet into the hand, we tend to take our weight backwards. But so either this pose or seated forward fold, whichever one feels comfortable to you. And we'll just take our focus onto our breathing as we hold for a moment. Now we'll take a nice deep breath in. As we breathe out, we can gently release whichever position we were holding. And we'll take those legs back out in front of us. From here, we're going to come into a seated twist. So we'll keep the left leg out in front of us. We'll bend the right leg, bring the foot to the floor either inside the thigh, or if we feel we can, we're going to step it over. But either way, we want the foot flat on the floor. We're going to use the left arm to hug the right knee in towards us. And we'll twist to look as far over the right shoulder as we can. Sitting up nice and tall as we do. Take a deep breath in. As we breathe out, we gently untwist. We can release the leg. So we're straightening the right leg out this time. We'll do the same thing going the other way. So the left foot either comes flat to the floor inside the thigh, or if we feel we can step it over, we step it over. And we're going to use the right arm to hold the left knee in towards us. So we're going to twist, sitting up tall, looking as far over the left shoulder as we feel we can. And take a deep breath. As you breathe out, we'll gently untwist, coming from release the leg. From here, you get to lie down. So just gently make your way down onto your back. And we've just got some relaxation to finish with. So we'll take our focus onto our breathing. And we'll just take those nice full deep breaths in and out. So every time you breathe in, we're trying to let that breath down towards the stomach, allowing it to rise. As you breathe out, just allow it to drop back down again. And if you want to, you take your focus down towards your lower body. Maybe curl the toes down and gently start to squeeze through all the muscles in the lower bodies, the calves, the thighs, the glutes. Really squeeze and hold the tension into all those muscles. Hold that tension there. And then on the next breath out, just let go of all that tension in the lower body. Feel your legs sink a little bit heavier into the floor. And the feet might just drop out to the side. And we'll do the same thing with the upper body as well. We can pinch our hands into fists and just start to squeeze through the muscles in the arms, the shoulders, into the back of the neck. And squeeze and build that tension and hold it there. Then on the next breath out, just let go of all that tension in the upper body. Feel your shoulders drop away from your ears and your arms just sink a little bit heavier into the floor. And we can slowly start to bring some awareness back towards the body. So maybe just gently wiggle your fingers, maybe wiggle your toes. You might even just want to put a few small circles to the wrists and ankles. And then just gently in your own time, allow you to make your way back to a seated position. And from our seated position, we'll take a nice deep breath in. As we do, just allow your arms to drift overhead. Now as you breathe out at the top, just relax your shoulders and circle the arms back and down. And we'll do that one more time, nice deep breath. As you breathe out, just relax your shoulders and circle the arms back. Awesome work.